and welcome to Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. I'd like to welcome you out to the shed of many names this evening, where, as you can tell by the title and what's right here beside me, I've got some beautiful sweet potatoes to take care of. Now, right before Thanksgiving, certain stores that starts with a K do sweet potatoes on sale for 37 cents a pound. Now, where I usually buy my bulk from, way cheaper than what I could get a 40-pound box of sweet potatoes there for. So me and my other half talked, and he looked at me, he said, "You know what you need to do." So there I went. They looked at me like I was crazy, but I got 40 pounds of sweet potatoes, give or take, minus a few, because we've ate a few, but not that many, because I want to make some butter. Sweet potato butter, yes, it's amazing. I want to make up sweet potato pie filling, and hopefully I'll have enough left over that I will make some candied sweet potatoes and jar them up as well. So, time to get busy. Now, this is the only time that you'll see me add a little bit of water to my sweet potatoes, but that'll be when I get ready to cook them, because I won't be draining that off. What you'll do is you take your pretty sweet potato, take your peeler, and gently peel them. And sometimes the peelings have a mind of their own. And I'll take a paring knife for that one, because I don't want to waste any of my sweet potato if I can help it. And you're just going to keep peeling. And always make sure you have a really good peeler. They come in so handy. I have had this peeler for years. And it's already cut through pumpkins. It's cut through cushaws. And a whole bunch of other things. And now it's doing sweet potatoes. And it's still just as sharp. Just want to make sure your potatoes are getting clean. And I've already washed these, so for those who, might say something, yes, the potatoes were washed. Find you a flat spot on the potato, cut it. And I'm going to fill this roaster full. I said, don't waste no little pieces. Get it all in there. Now, please save your peelings. Put them in your compost pile. And now if you have some hogs or goats, they will love a treat. But like I said, try to put them in your compost pile, because we need to build and make as much compost as possible. Well, I have all these sweet potatoes and 3 more full bags to do. Once I get the roaster filled, I'll quit peeling and cutting up my sweet potatoes, because that means the rest is going to go for candied sweet potatoes. And that'll be a third video. I'm doing a sweet potato pie filling. That'll be one video. sweet potato butter, and then candied sweet potatoes if I have enough sweet potatoes left over. So I'm going to get busy, and I'll bring you back here in just a little bit. Okay, if you watched my previous video from yesterday, I finally was freed from the backyard. Was able to get a hold of, go inside and get water and get the sweet potatoes cooked. And if you notice, I'm now in a t-shirt because it's warm outside, so everyone be careful. Okay, the sweet potatoes are all cooked. Now this roaster was mounded up. They have really cooked down. Now, I know some people are going to go, ooh, some of those look horrible. I will show you an example. Nothing wrong with these sweet potatoes. Now, I don't always peel down to the orange. You can see the ring on the outside of this slice. That's the kind of yellow protective skin under the orange, under the brown skin. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. And I used just as little bit of water as I could. And most of all this is natural sweet potato juice. Now I have it cut off because this stuff is hot. And I do not want to get it slung on me. Now what I'm going to do is use my immersion blender. And the gist of it is to go around and get all of it pureed up. I'm not going to make y'all sit there and go through this with me because it's going to get loud and probably a little bit messy. And I will bring you back as soon as I get these potatoes pureed. See you here in a little bit. Okay, I have it mostly pureed up. I'm not worried right at the moment about the chunks in here because that will get pureed more once I start making my other recipes. Now, I should have brought my other big bowl, but I didn't. Hindsight. Alright, each batch. Now, this roaster is not as full as I'd like it to be, but some is better than none. I'm going to be splitting this roaster full of sweet potatoes up into 2 batches. I'm going to be making 1 batch of sweet potato pie filling, 1 batch of sweet potato butter. So, now yes, I know my measuring cup don't have the measurements on it anymore, but I know my measurements. That's 4 cups. And that's 2 cups. So a single batch is going to be 6 cups of puree. So and believe me, be careful, this is hot. Uh-oh, got it all over my coffee cup. Okay, that's another batch. This is the batch for the sweet potato pie filling, and this is going for the sweet potato butter. Try not to sling it everywhere, if possible. Okay. That's 2 batches of that. Looks like I'm going to find out what sweet potato flavored coffee tastes like. But that's okay. I'm up for a challenge. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. This batch is going to be able to make 3 batches of sweet potato butter. And this batch here, give or take some, is going to make 3 batches of sweet potato pie filling. And yes, so you know, I'm a rebel canner. I can sweet potato pie filling, sweet potato butter, pumpkin pie filling, pumpkin butter, cushaw pie filling, all of it. I got to get my spatula so I can scrape all that up, because in my rule book, no sweet potato left behind. This is going to be a little bit smaller than what I'm used to making, but you know what? That won't mean that I can't go get some more sweet potatoes. Okay, alright. I'll be back. I'm going to go get my spatula. Uh-oh, sorry. Oh, they're good. Come back here. It's good to be the cook, because you know, you have to do quality checks. You gotta make sure it tastes good. Alright, all jokes aside, I'm going to go get my spatula, get my ingredients, measure it out, and like I always do, the recipe for a single batch will be in the description box below, so don't ever worry about the recipe. I'll have it in the description box below. So when I come back, we're going to get busy on making a triple batch of sweet potato pie filling. I'll see you back here in a little bit. Okay, let's get busy making some sweet potato pie filling. Now, yes, I know it's still lumpy, but I'm going to puree it some more after I get all the other ingredients added. Now, 1 batch is 6 cups of puree. This is going to be a triple batch, so there is 18 cups of sweet potatoes in here. 18 cups of pureed sweet potatoes, and I'm going to need 1 cup of cane sugar per batch. So since I have 3 batches in here, I'm going to need 3 cups of cane sugar. So nobody have a heart attack, I'm doing a triple batch. Okay, now with my sweet potatoes, I like for them to be a little more richer and darker. So I add more brown sugar than I do cane sugar. So I'm going to need, I got my cheat sheet here. I'm going to need 6 cups of light brown sugar. Okay, there's 2 cups. Come on out there. You know you wanna. cups. I need 2 more. Now, of course, you can always make your own brown sugar. All you do is take good cane sugar and mix it with molasses. The more molasses you use, the darker the sugar is. And that is all that brown sugar is cane sugar, real sugar, mixed with molasses. Come on out. There we go. Wanted to be shy. Okay, and that's my 6 cups of light brown sugar. And of course, as the sugar melts, the mixture is going to become looser. Everything's fine. And don't worry, if your sweet potatoes start looking brown, it's because of the molasses and the brown sugar. Everything's fine. Okay, now for spices. Per batch, and remember, I'm doing 3 batches. I'm going to need 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. Please use good cinnamon. So I'm going to need 3 tablespoons. And like I said, I'll have my single batch recipe in the description box below. Okay, it's my cinnamon. Next on to ginger. I'm going to need 3 tablespoons of ginger. Let me tell you, this is really smelling wonderful. There's my 3 tablespoons of ginger. And I'm going to change up a little bit. And I'm going to need 3 teaspoons of allspice. Now, if you want to use cloves, you can. I just like the flavor that allspice has. And of course, this is Jamaican allspice, which is amazing allspice. And I'm starting to get a little low on my supplies, but that happens every year. Now, usually I add vanilla to my sweet potato pie mix, but I have just barely enough vanilla for my sweet potato butter. And since I'll have to, for my sweet potato pie mix, I'll have to mix that with eggs and evaporated milk. I will just make a side note to remind myself that I have to add vanilla to it. Now, if you do have the vanilla, go ahead and mix in 1 tablespoon per batch. So that would mean that this batch would need 3 tablespoons of vanilla. Okay, and what I'm going to do, bring out the immersion blender again and puree this up. I'm going to pause it so I do not deafen you. I'll bring you back here in just a little bit. See how beautiful that is? Now I have excuse me, a few very small pieces of sweet potato. I am fine with that because that lets people know exactly that they're eating fresh sweet potatoes. Now, of course, you want to taste it for sweetness. Oh my gracious. Spot on. Spot on for sweetness, spot on for spices. Now, what you have to remember is when you go to use this to make your pie, you don't have to add any sugar, you don't have to add any spices. All you're going to have to do is add your egg, your evaporated milk, and unfortunately, your vanilla. But like I said, if you have vanilla, go ahead and add your vanilla into it. Make sure it's all pureed and mixed up real good. This is good and hot still, so I'm fixing to clean things up. Go get my jars out of the dishwasher that's hot, and we're going to get to canning here in just a little bit. Now, I will be pressure canning my sweet potato pie filling. Now, I have heard that you can water bath it, but it's going to take up to, you're going to have to water bath it for an hour. I prefer pressure canning. It's only going to take 30 minutes of pressure canning, and we're going to see how many jars. I'm hoping to squeeze 19 pints. I may or might not get it, but either or, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because I'm still going to have some jars to put up. I will bring you back as soon as I get everything set up and ready to start jarring it up. I'll see you back here in a bit. Okay, I have everything gathered. My sweet potato pie filling is still good and warm. My jars are warm. I have my lids, my pans. My lids are the kind that you don't have to soak. I have a funnel. You have to have a debubbler. I'm using a chopstick. You can use a professional debubbler as long as you have one. And I have a small container of vinegar to wipe the rims. And I have my folded paper towel to use in the vinegar to wipe my rims with. You want your jars warm. And here we go. I'm hoping for 19 pints, but I'm not too sure. Now, of course, if you don't feel comfortable canning it, I fully understand. That's fine. If you want to freeze it, what you would measure out is 2 cups of the filling per freezer bag or whatever container you use. And that would be 2 cup, this pint jar, or 2 cups of frozen sweet potato pie filling will make 2 regular 9-inch pies or 1 deep dish pie. Now, you don't just have to use this filling. What did I do with my spoon? Here it is. You don't just have to use this filling for pies. You can use it in fried pies as well. You can use it in bread recipes. Just take into consideration that it's already sweetened and spiced. And of course, you want to make sure no air bubbles. Always have you another jar ready. And you want a 1-inch headspace. And make sure that your paper towel doesn't fall into the vinegar, because it will funnel it out. Wipe your rims real good. Make sure there's none of the filling on your rim. Grab a lid and a band. Be careful because the ingredients are hot. Just finger tight and into the canner it goes. And I already have my pressure canner on low so that the water will stay warm inside so you don't shock your jars. Simple, easy, anybody can do this. You just have to believe in yourself and have the ingredients. And like I said, if you don't want to can it up, you can always freeze it. And you have to make sure to get out all bubbles. Bubbles are not, in canning, are not your friend. And you want a 1-inch headspace. Make sure you wipe your rim really well. Put your lid and band on, just finger tight, into the canner it goes. Okay, and I will bring you back as soon as I get done. See you in a bit. I've been meaning to talk about this. Let me get the light on. There you go, so you can see a little bit better. Okay, my canner is an All-American 921. I can double stack mine. I can can 19 pints at a time. Now, on the bottom level, I can put 9 pints. You end up getting, you'll get a second separator plate. I have one on the bottom. I have my 2 inches of water in there and a glug of vinegar. And what I'm going to do, I'll put my second separator plate. And be careful, your pot's hot, your jars are hot, so don't get burnt. You're supposed to make sure this separator plate goes on top of the jars below. You don't just set it in there. You have to make sure each jar is underneath that separator plate. Now, another thing I do at this time, because I'll be doing a second layer, is I wipe the rim of my canner. And like I said, be careful, it's going to be warm. And I take my olive oil now and oil the rim of my canner. Because thankfully, all Americans don't use rubber seals. And I am thankful for that. But you do have to oil it, or it's going to end up being a really bad mess because you take a chance of your lid sticking to your pot, the bottom part of your canner. Now, I know a lot of you people who have been pressure canning for a while know about this. I'm just trying to teach those at the moment who don't have a pressure canner or has one but has been too leery to use it. Stop being scared of your pressure canners. They are your friend as long as you follow the directions. Okay, I'm gonna get back to filling up some more jars. See you at the wall. Okay, I came close to getting a full canner load. I've got 17 pints, so I'm happy. And then there's a little bit extra left over, so that means I get a little treat. Alright, now you're going to want to put your screws on opposite sides, just snug. Opposite sides, just snug. And also remember, be careful, they're going to be warm because you've had your pressure canner going. Just snug, and then you're going to go back, tighten them down. And what I do is I let it come up to temp very slowly. And I will bring you back once she starts venting. See you at the wall. You might not can see the steam, but I have a steady stream of steam coming out of the canner. And I'm going to let it vent for 10 minutes. And I will bring you back as soon as the 10 minutes is over. She has been venting for 10 minutes. For my area, I have to use a 10-pound weight. Put your weight on. You need to know for your area if you need to use a 5, 10, or 15-pound weight. If you do not know, your agricultural extension agency should be able to help you. And now I'll wait till she comes up to pressure, and I will bring you back. She is now at a steady 11 pounds of pressure, so I will start timing the canning process now. So I will see you in 30 minutes. She has been canning for a steady 30 minutes, and all I'm going to do is shut the flame off. I'm not going to touch anything. I'm going to let her completely depressurize to 0, and I'm going to wait about 30-45 minutes, and I'll bring you back once it's time to open her up. I'm looking forward to this. See y'all soon. Okay, she has completely came down to 0 pressure. Always use a pot holder to remove your weight. If you hear any loud noises on beating or banging noises, it's limbs. The wind has just been ungodly. And you take you unscrew from opposite ends. Uh-oh, excuse me a minute. Sorry about that, I had to go take care of something. Family needed to ask me a question. Always open your lid away from you so you don't get steam burned. And be really careful when you remove your jars. Uh-oh, we've had just a little bit of siphoning, but that's okay. Don't mean that anything's wrong. Alright, I'll bring you back here in just a little bit once I get them all unloaded. Okay, ended up with 17 beautiful pint jars of sweet potato pie filling. And it's going to be wonderful to use. Now, you can use them for pies. I'll have the recipe in the description box below. You can, you know, the old-fashioned thumbprint cookies, instead of using jam, you can put sweet potato pie filling in it. Fried pies, quick breads, you name it. Now, I did notice on this batch, the first layer in the canner did not siphon at all. the second layer siphoned a little bit, it's not going to hurt a thing. Just let these cool for about 24 hours. Double check, make sure they're sealed. I'm not about to touch them right now, but double check, make sure they're sealed, and give them a nice warm sudsy bath. Clean them up, they'll be fine. Once you do all that, let them dry, label them, and put them in your pantry. Now, just in case none of them sealed, all you do is just put them in your fridge and use them. You have about 2 weeks to use them. Like I said, cookies, pies, quick breads, fried pies, you name it. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do with it. And I'm beginning to wonder if the stormy weather that's getting closer to us, because the winds are picking up like crazy, and this is Wednesday night. This is round 2. If they might not have had something to do with it as well. You never know. But it doesn't make any sense that the bottom ones did not cipher, but the top ones did a little bit. Like I said, just make sure that your seals are sealed. Give them a bath, let them dry, and label them. Simple, easy, anybody can do this. And I absolutely love sweet potato pie. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment section below. And please do not delete them. I love reading them, and I will answer you. So please don't delete them. Everyone stay safe and sound. We're on a roller coaster ride of weather. It's that time of year, unfortunately. And I pray for all those up north that are being hammered right now. And I'm waiting for the tail of this cold front to move through here. Everyone stay safe. It's going to be a stormy day. Well, it's going to be a stormy night and several days. So everyone take care. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. May you each be blessed. See you soon.